Judy, we've talked often about the location of Parrish, but, you know, with the relationship to Tampa and St. Pete, that's a given. But really, what's so good about living in Parrish? I mean, sometimes when I come out here and I take a new road, all I see is open land.
Yep, we got some open land, we got some trees. So before I can answer that, let me give you a little history of Parrish, and you'll kind of understand why those of us that live here embrace it so much, and why we try to preserve it, why we're at the Florida State Railroad Museum. So Parrish actually began as a plantation. It was first settled as a plantation prior to the Civil War. And then Civil War broke out. They used the river. There's actually some historic sites from the war close by, which is kind of interesting. And so Parrish was highly agricultural. They used that river to get commerce out. So we had orchards and cattle and tomatoes and all kinds of stuff like that. And
there used to be a lot of citrus.
Then a lot of citrus. And there is, I was reading, I did a little research, and there's a 100-year-old citrus grove in Parrish that's still producing oranges. So there's still a little bit of citrus out here. About 1900 or so, we started getting this railroad through so more commerce could come, and a few plantations settled. It was known as Oak Hill for a while, and then the Postal Service discovered there was an Oak Hill somewhere else in Florida, which became a little confusing. So they named it after one of the settlers, one of the families that had one of the biggest plantations, the Parrish family. Oh. So that's where we are. Okay. So those of us that live here want to maintain a little of that appreciation for nature, and we don't want it to look like every other suburb in town because we're not. And so we're going to talk about what Parrish does have, what's coming, what's growing, and trying to think if there's anything else. I would just say don't let our sleepy appearance fool you, because there's big things on the horizon.
Well, I've seen a little taste of it. We're going to see a little bit more. Geez, though, what about traffic? Everybody wants to know about traffic, and it's all relative, isn't it? It is,
it is. If you live in Orlando, our traffic is humorous to them.
Yeah.
If you live in Boston or a big city, our traffic's not that bad. But our traffic has not kept up with the population growth in all over Florida.
That's true.
And it's not that Florida hasn't tried, it's just that the people are coming faster than expected. So
what did they call it? That mass migration.
Yes, yes.
During and after the pandemic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So already, gosh, 5 years ago, our interchange here at 301 was slated to be expanded, improved, and the pandemic just made it that much worse. So it's currently started. And so our US 301 I-75 interchange, which is how a lot of us get south to work and to shop, is going to be redone. And but they're also doing other things like Fort Hammer Road. They're connecting through the new Parrish High School and north to Buckeye Road. So we'll have another northwest route, which was intended when the bridge was built a few years ago.
And that bridge was built a few years ago to create a south.
Right, a north-south flow. I was at a meeting this week that said that there is another 2-lane span of that bridge planned.
I read that too. Yes, yep. I think that's a real good sign of progress.
That was originally planned, and then it was scaled back.
Right.
We won't get into why. And then things like Moccasin Wallow has got so many new communities. I'm pointing because it's right over there. Moccasin Wallow is going to be widened. Different roads are going to be widened to accommodate some of the flow.
Do you think they'll change the name of that road?
I hope not.
It's a little weird. It's a little creepy.
We don't want it changed. We like it. It's Parrish. We have enough North River things. Not that that's bad, but
no.
We need to maintain the name of Parrish. We need to maintain Moccasin Wallow, Fort Hammer's strategic spot. So we like that. One of my neighbors, her biggest concern about traffic is when we moved here 20 years ago, we moved at the same time, her husband's had different health issues, and it used to be a lot easier to get to the hospital and get through traffic. And now it's a little slower. Manatee Memorial Hospital, right. So early in February of this year, it was announced that North River Ranch area, Parrish is getting its own full-service hospital with an emergency room and with those services that we need. Yeah. So that'll be a 7-minute drive maybe, instead of a 20, 30-minute drive, or even longer if there's an accident somewhere. So that's great. And yeah, and so a lot of my neighbors and friends were saying, well, it's traffic, it's traffic. You can still get to Sarasota in 30, 45 minutes. You can still get to Tampa in under an hour. So it's not that bad.
Okay.
But if you commute, you just have to be, know your times, and they're working on it. They're working on all the inner sections from all the exits around Hillsborough County, Manatee County, Sarasota County. They're all getting redone and expanded. So
right.
they're doing it.
So those are growing pains that everybody's going to have to get through while this construction's going on. But we've got an end goal in sight?
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the things I love is we just had a butterfly fly through. You see a lot of nature around here. So that's kind of cool. And so with the hospital, we're also getting medical offices, and a lot of other support services are popping up all over.
That's great. Okay. I hear this all the time from people that are moving into the area. They want to be in a convenient location that is going to allow them to dine out and shop.
Right.
But, other than the Mexican place down the street and so the pizza place and the Publix, we've certainly hit the Publix.
And they have chairs to sit in.
Where do you go to eat?
So I'm going to hold off on the shopping answer.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you about the restaurant answer.
Okay.
It is limited right now. Pizza and Italian restaurants kind of rule the area. They're easy to open. We've got some great community partners that have pizza places. We have several mom and pop places that you just have to know where they are. So there's Butterfield's, there's Ellington Cafe.
We still haven't made it to the barbecue place yet.
Yes, we have CK's Barbecue. I was going to mention that. So they're there.
Lunch today.
Okay. PJ
right.
Sandwich Shop.
Okay.
We have a lot of quirky little things. And I like to go to downtown St. Pete. I like to go to UTC area of Sarasota.
Right.
So that's still a half hour or less, which is kind of nice. But we asked for this 20 years ago. We're getting an Outback Steakhouse by the new Home Goods, TJ Maxx Plaza, and Lowe's, and things like that.
Wait a minute, the new, okay.
It's Home Goods, I'm sorry.
Shopping
yes, shop for you later. But anyhow, we're getting an Outback. We're also supposed to be getting 2 or 3 independent restaurants there. And then also up closer to us right now at North River Ranch, there's a shopping district / restaurant district that's been announced, and we're expecting more restaurants there. We even have our own brewery. We have Corporate Ladder. We have an independent brew pub that has made outdoor seating, and they make it very family friendly. I attended a meeting there the other day for the Parrish Business Association. So what we're asking though, while we're doing this video, is if you want to build a new independent restaurant, let me know. I'll connect you with Parrish Business Association, Parrish Civic Association, because we eagerly want those people to come. And now I think we've got enough population to support them. That's what we were lacking before. So bring your independent restaurant, bring your French restaurant, your Peruvian restaurant, whatever. I'm sure you'll be embraced. And let me know. We'll get you there.
Well, you know what they say. Retail follows roofs.
Yes.
And we've got some roofs going up, folks. We've seriously got some roofs going up in this area. We've been telling you about that in so many videos, so check back out on those videos so that you don't miss out on any of the new home communities. Well, you've given us some information about dining. What about the shopping element of what everybody wants to shop? And everybody, if they move into a new home, has to shop, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, I've got a few different things to talk about here. Groceries.
Oh, yeah. Groceries.
So,
essential.
A Florida benchmark is how much you're growing is how many Publix you have.
Yep.
So Parrish / Palmetto in our little area already have 3.
Oh.
We have another one coming at North River Ranch. There's also rumor of another grocer. We're not sure about that. So we got Publix. Winn-Dixie's just over the line in Palmetto. We have a Winn-Dixie in Lakewood Ranch if you're loyal to that brand. Detweiler's, don't forget about Detweiler's. Great fish, great meat. They have a deli counter. They have the incredible produce section and some unique things that you might not find other places. That's probably 15-20 minute drive. It's right next door in Palmetto. But we also have things like Sunny Tomatoes, which is a little independent farm stand, used to be known as Brown's, and they have independent food. They have a guy that does smoked chicken there on certain days. They have some frozen meats.
We're going to start calling that boutique.
Boutique. And then we also have independent farms all over the place that sell fresh eggs, fresh produce, like Gamble Creek Farms. There's meat processors just to the east of us. So you get a lot of really fresh stuff here that isn't at a big box store, or you're not buying online for your food. So it's kind of nice. You get true farm-to-table opportunities out here.
And you know what? People get used to that, and then they're sad to see it go.
Yes, yep. So we try to support them. So, and then pharmacies. We have standalone pharmacies like Walgreens, CVS, and an independent, and then all of our Publix locations have pharmacies, and I'm sure we'll see more of that. So Susan was asking about shopping, and we thought we'd take a little field trip over here, and we wanted to talk about the independent boutiques and some of the neat things that are happening out here. Everyone wants to know where the mall is. Unfortunately, 1 in 4 malls, this was in 2019 before COVID, 1 in 4 malls was slated to be shut down. So big shopping is not necessarily the trend. And we're seeing more and more boutique shopping and shopping center, plaza shopping, and online shopping. I know. So we're seeing more and more boutique shopping and more online shopping, and so we wanted to stop over at Teal Children Boutique and show you a little bit about what are the neat things and independent business owners we're trying to promote. So, but we also do have some of the bigger names coming. We have a Home Goods opening hopefully this fall or by Christmas, in addition to a Lowe's, so you finally do have a big box store for your home improvement projects. We also have an at-home store in the TJ Maxx Plaza. Ellington Outlet Mall is 10 minutes from here and has all kinds of different things. So we do have shopping. Palmetto's got some other boutiques, a cute little one called By the Sea, and it's actually owned by one of my neighbors who lives in Parrish. So we've got a lot of this little stuff. We've got, like we mentioned, the Sunny Tomatoes. We've got Parrish General Store if you need anything agricultural, or even buy a chicken if you live in rural areas. So we've got a lot. So the TJ Maxx we were talking about also has a Bell's, and there's more shopping planned in North River Ranch. And also, it was just announced this last week that there will be shopping in addition to a new park at the Village Town Center, which is just down the road from this. So it's right on 301 between Erie and Fort Hammer, that'll give you a landmark. So Village Center's coming with shops, boutiques, restaurants, and an amphitheater, and some other cool stuff that we're going to mention.
Thank you. Have a nice day, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to talk with you guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Judy, who was that?
That was Mohammed. He is the newer owner of Parrish Supermarket, and he's doing all kinds of improvements inside, new refrigerated cases, a new meat market, and he's got plans for this corner too, so it's exciting.
That's just one example of some of the local merchants that are seeing the future.
Yep. Where Mohammed sits, he's at Erie Road and 301. They're going to be redoing this intersection to connect it easier to 62 and make it easier for Susan and I to make left turns out of here.
That's great.
Can you see it?
She'll have to zoom in, catch that sign,
Yeah.
but
There's another truck.
So Judy, where are we now?
We are kind of in what used to be Old Parrish. We're by the Parrish General Supply, and right across from us is where the recently announced, these trucks are building houses. When recently announced Parrish Town Center, which is going to have a park and retail and restaurants and an amphitheater and a competitive swimming pool and all kinds of stuff. But shops and restaurants are coming here. So one of the biggest trends lately in weddings and special events is the barn or the rustic venue. And we've had Baker's Ranch in Parrish for several years, and we have a few others. So everywhere else you have to drive an hour, hour and a half to find a farm, we have them. So we have some of the funnest events for corporate events and outings. And also with the new Village Center, we're going to have a new amphitheater too. So there's going to be places to do things out here. But Baker's Ranch is just beautiful And they have outdoor and indoor venues. So what a lot of people want to know when they come to our area is, what am I going to do with my kids? What am I going to do to burn off that energy? What the heck is out here? So we are at the dry rink, I guess is what we're calling it. We're at the Ellington Ice and Sports Complex, and we're on a rink that they use for field hockey and other things like that. But there are 2 full-size ice rinks here that are used for figure skating lessons and competitive events, as well as ice hockey of all ages. There's little kids, there's older folks. I mean, there's guys 50 and up that are playing hockey out here. It's pretty cool. There's a ballet school here, or a dance studio, I should say. Dance studio, gymnastics studio, fitness center for all those people that are doing these things. And that's just what's at this complex alone. They've got some party rooms, so it's a great place to have a party. They have free skate for those of us that long for those days up north of ice skating once every year or so, and remember that we can't remember how to skate. So anyhow, we've got that. For organized sports, we've got Buffalo Creek Park right in the heart of Parrish, and there's more coming with some of the new developments. That has soccer, baseball, softball, golf, a golf course. It has a dog park. It has a trail for running. It's got all kinds of stuff. Swimming lessons. There's a new facility here that focuses on toddler swimming, infant swimming. So we are surrounded by water, and the best thing you can do is get your little kids into swimming lessons. Fort Hammer Park. That is mainly a rowing or a scullers park, but it's used for other things. You can launch a kayak, you can launch a small boat with an engine out there. You can have a picnic in the pavilion. There's a lot of stuff to do out there. The different community amenity centers, some of them do have sports fields. We've mentioned a couple times new parks. The new Village Town Center is supposed to have a competitive swimming, like Olympic-sized pool. It's going to have pickleball, it's going to have community events, things like that. And then the other park is going to have similar things with softball fields and a performance stage. There's also the Gamble Plantation. There's historic sites out here. In addition to that, we've got a few really nice preserves that are managed by the county of Manatee County. And a Rye Preserve, you can take your kid overnight camping, and instead of driving hour and an hour, you're driving 15 minutes. If in the middle of the night the kid's just not having it, you're home, and it's easy on everybody. And my dad would have loved that when we were little. And then pro sports. I mean, take your kids to a Bucks game, a Rays game, a Lightning game, a Rowdies game, see all their favorite teams from the areas that they've all relocated from, and it's great. So there's tons to do with your kids, in addition to, it's just a really friendly community, and we have community events too. So that's what you do with your kids. So we've started and we're ending at the Parrish, the actual Florida Railroad Museum in Parrish, to kind of give you a great analogy of what Parrish really is like. It's a great blend of the old and the new. So we've got our old engine, and we're building a brand new building, a brand new actual physical museum out here, which is fantastic.
And it's going to look like an old railroad?
Like a depot, yeah.
Depot?
Yep.
That's very cool.
And out here that we didn't get to earlier, we were talking about what's there for kids to do. Thomas the Train was just here. Thomas the Train arrives for a few weekends, and kids get on board, and Thomas the Train comes to life right in front of them. There's a haunted train in the fall. There's a Frozen style winter wonderland type train ride in the winter, and there's all kinds of different events out here. And where you actually get on the train and it moves, and you get an experience of what it's like to be on an old, unfortunately, rickety train. So it's kind of cool. And so when you want to learn more about Parrish or come for a personal tour, let me know. And Susan and I will be glad to help you at any time. So, oh, and one more thing, always have to forget, please remember to like and subscribe and communicate with us. We do answer, and we love to hear from everybody around the country. Bye.
Bye-bye.